What's up, YouTube world? It's your boy Nightmare 10 once again, and I'm back with a live video. We're going to talk about The Last of Us Part 2 in case anyone decides to watch this after we're live. We're going to give some time to get people in here. And I got a few things to take care of, but I want to go ahead and get live. I didn't want to be too late. I'm already 5 minutes later than what I said I was going to do. So here we are. We're here. Let's get people in here. Let's go ahead and share out the tweet here, or share out the link on Twitter. In case anybody that doesn't follow us here. Promises on my live stream on Twitch the other day that I would do this, so I wanted to go ahead and so let's see here. Oh, I'm getting like some really bad. Why is it going so slow? I don't know. Hopefully you guys can hear me good. I feel like the mic's not picking up very much, but hopefully you guys can hear me. Anybody can hear me? Let me know. It just says me for some reason. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, well, hopefully we're good. Let's give it a second. I got to look at something real quick. I'm in a break later, so I wanted to make sure that I got to do. It's a draft break, so I want to make sure my draft's set. I think because they might be doing picks early. I don't know. So just give me a few minutes if you're chatting. Let's see. Let's see here. I might have missed the break. Dang it. I think I missed the break. Thought he was doing Saturday night breaks, not... Well, I missed the break, so I don't even know what wrestler I got. Dang it, I didn't get to set the draft. Okay, well, I think it already got done, unless it got taken down. It's not up on YouTube yet, so I don't know what's going on there. Actually, go back. Hold on. Sorry, guys. If you're watching me right now, this is not. If you're watching behind the scenes, this is what happens when you're not prepared. I'm prepared to talk. We're going to talk Last of Us Part 2. We got a lot to talk about. Obviously, spoilers are involved. I will scream spoilers every time right before I really get into it. If you haven't finished it, I definitely suggest you want to finish the game first. Even if you watch the leaks, I still suggest or read the leaks. I said watch the leaks. I don't even know if it was video form. I avoided the leaks. So let's see. I was doing something now. I lost track of what I was doing. I was in a break, so that's what should have done this before, but I just got home. So let's see. I just wanted to see if it has been completed yet. Random and draft results. Does that mean it's done? Yep, it is done. So they already did the break. Let's see who I got. I'm just curious. I guess the video will be up in a minute. I got pick number 7, so I don't know who I got, actually. I got picks. Wait, what? No, no, I didn't. I got pick number 12. The last one is the one that matters. I think. I don't know. We'll watch the video after this to see what I got, or I'll watch the video after this, obviously. All right. Anyways, let me get back to this. In case you guys are chatting. Oh, what's up, Randy? Okay, cool. You can hear me. Thanks, Randy. I did a wrestling. CSB, of course, did a break and was Road to WrestleMania, which is really hard to come by, and drafted wrestler. And I thought it was going to be later tonight, but apparently it already happened. So I'll have to go back and watch the video. And I will let you guys know. Maybe I'll watch it on here and kind of give you like a live play-by-play, maybe. So I'm giving a little bit of, we'll wait a couple more minutes and see if anybody else wants to come in. They can always, of course, watch this video later. I may go off some pops at the end, and then we'll probably go back to, maybe I'll stream a little Fortnite before, because I don't know if I'm going to have time tonight. Maybe we'll stream some more tonight. Yeah, I hope I got someone good. I didn't get to set my rankings because I couldn't get it to work on my phone, on the app, on his app, which is always kind of glitchy. It's not really his fault, but am I streaming tonight? Probably not. Possibly. It's not out of the question, but I do have plans at 7, so we'll see what time I get home. My mouse is like being stupid. There's some fix where your mouse I don't know. My mouse goes away on this for some reason. Okay. All right. So let's get to what this is about, because then we can kind of switch over to something else or talk about some more stuff. But big date? No. Just for going out with friends. Actually, technically now a former coworker. She's left. But her and her boyfriend and some friends. So that's cool. So yeah, no date, Randy. But fingers crossed. You never know. Maybe down the line. Not this person, but someone else. So Last of Us Part 2. If you didn't know this already, it's a very, very controversial game. I think some people still obviously love it. Some people hate it. Thanks, Randy. Yeah, obviously I'll be safe when I go out. But yeah, so let's talk about this game. Oh God, I just freaking killed my freaking toe. This is what happens when you're live here. Going for it here. This is the feel that you get. After working 7 to 3 today, and I just rammed that down there. Okay, we're gonna get it together at some point. So yeah, let's get the positives out the way for Last of Us Part 2. The graphics are flat out amazing. There's no question about it. They're very, 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 very good. Top notch for the PlayStation 4. I can't imagine what exactly bloopers, Randy. I can't imagine what. How much better it's gonna look on PS5, but I assume every generation has gotten even better. So these graphics are gonna look like puny compared to the I guess if they do another Last of Us or whatever, the next gen games in general. I'll warn you when I get to spoilers. But like I said, the good is the graphics are amazing. The mechanics I think are good. I mean, there's a couple questionable things that can kind of get on your nerves. The fighting can kind of get on your nerves sometimes. And there are definitely moments in the game that it did bother me. But that's kind of comes with it. If you've played the first one. So yeah. Anyways, I'm drawing blank all of a sudden now. Now I want to talk about it. I'm drawing blank. No. So yeah. So I think that, overall that's like the main two things, the graphics. And of course, the best thing about these games like this, if you've played the first one, or if you've played Uncharted, which is a great series, if you haven't, if you've never played that, I would suggest playing all through all of them. Uncharted 4 is really, really good. They're all really, really good, but I think there's one that's like not as good. I can't remember. I haven't played the first 3 in forever. But yeah, Uncharted is a great game. I love story games. Detroit Become Human is one recently that I played that was really good, and Red Dead Redemption 2, of course. I love games now that like really give you that, like, you're getting to play, but you're also getting to be in the game itself, and watch the movie, like watch it like a movie, I guess is what I was trying to say. So yes, great game. Last of Us Part 2 is a great game if you love stories and things like that. The downfall. So spoilers, because we're gonna start talking about spoilers real quick here. Spoilers, more spoilers, and spoilers again. So in case you're watching this over and skipping through, I mean, I know I just kind of started at the 8-minute mark, so these live videos, sorry, that's what you're going to get. But I just want to kind of come on here. Maybe somebody wanted to come on here and actually talk about the game and have some questions. So if you do have some questions, if you're watching now, feel free to put them in, and I'll get to them. Maybe if something I want to talk about a little bit later, or if it's something I want to answer now, I'll answer it, of course. So maybe if you haven't played and you have a question, but sorry, if you haven't played, you might not want to watch this game. Watch this video. Sorry. So what I was getting at was that, like I said, we're getting to spoilers. So if you don't care, continue. If you don't, you might want to stop and come check me out later. So yeah, like the story. Obviously, you play this game for the story. It's great. It's awesome. These games are awesome. These type of games, I should say, not this one. The story of this game. So if you know anything about the first one, the fact that like I said, big spoiler I'm about to say, so don't, Joel dies in literally what felt like the first 15 minutes. I'm sure gameplay wise, because if you play Last of Us, sometimes, some of the gameplay can take a little while because you're like moving through and everything. The fact that Joel dies so early in this game, and I thought I had heard, I think I never read leaks, but I did hear rumors that he died. So I was like, man, of course they're going to kill him. but it's going to be at the end. It's going to be like he saves Ellie, or something along those lines, and that's going to be how it kind of transitions. Ellie's by herself, and he sacrifices himself for her. Not at all what happened. Not at all what happened. So he dies early on. There's nothing really to spoil about who, but someone kills him. Not only to mention that, you play as that killer beforehand, and then you find out, of course, that she's the one that kills him. That's a shocker moment, and then you're like, her name's Abby, by the way, and you're like, what the heck, man? Like, I don't want to play as her. So, you already played as her. Like, at that moment, you didn't know. So, anyways, like, if you're looking for a structured, awesome review, this might not be it for you, but I'm going to ramble. So, here we are. I might go on a tangent here and there. You guys are used to that by now. But yeah, so I like having to play as her. Once you find out, I was like, well, so I wasted time playing as her, and I literally had to play as her. It's like, okay, well, whatever. You're on the revenge tour with Ellie, okay? Then I'm down, okay? This game, I'm like, yes, get Abby, get everything involved in it. All the people that she has friends involved with her, get every last one of them. I'm all in it. I'm in it. I'm invested. So I could probably like at that point I was like, I can forgive Joel dying early, even though you didn't get to play as him at all. And then I was like, well, maybe in flashbacks, and I'm like, not too big on that, but at least you get to play it with him in flashbacks, at least maybe. Side note, you don't. You see him in flashbacks, but you don't get to play as him as flashbacks. If I remember correctly, I don't remember a single time I played with him in a flashback. I don't think. I'm trying to remember. I played as Ellie in a flashback, but I don't think you play as him. And you play as Abby in flashbacks as well. So yeah, you got no Joel. I think you got to play. I don't even think you got to play as Joel. Period at the beginning of the game. Like you got to play. I have a horrible memory sometimes, so that's why I really need to do these as soon as I end these games. But yeah, so like I think you did get to play as him, but not really. Like I don't think you did any combat stuff. I think you just like walked on a horse with it, or not walked on a horse, but rode a horse with him or something like that. But so, anyways, but like I said, if like the whole point of the game was to okay, Joel died. Now it's time for Ellie to get that point. But but the main problem is. So now we're having to live in flashbacks of the connection between Ellie. If you played the first game, between Ellie and Joel, about the fact that Joel saved her instead of letting her be the sacrifice to save the whole human race in a sense. There's no guarantee, but that's what the doctor was going to do. It was just going to kill her. So Joel's like, heck no. And of course, when you play that game, you're like, no, she's not going to die, and you're all thrilled. And that game is first Last of Us was amazing. Story-wise, amazing. I just feel that this one kills that story. Like I said, if the whole, I'm getting at it, but if the whole point was to get to that point where, you're with Ellie and Ellie's, getting the revenge, I'm all for that in the beginning of the game. Of course, takes for friggin' ever, but that's how these games work. They draw it out, the characters, it's fine. I'm fine with that if it means something. But eventually you get to a point, and I'll maybe come back to certain points in the game at some point in this conversation. But like you're playing with Ellie, and then all of a sudden it leaves you on a cliffhanger where Abby, she finally gets in face to face with Abby, and then cliffhanger because then it switches, and now you're going to play the whole storyline up to that point from Abby's perspective. And I'm like, no, I don't want to play from Abby's perspective. I think this would have been a cool like DLC possibly to play as her or something like that. But I was I'm not gonna lie. I literally found every possible way early on, and then I gave up. But early on to have Abby die. Like I wanted Abby. Like when you die with Ellie, you weren't trying to die, but like it's gruesome, and you're like, oh no, But like if you haven't seen the deaths in this game, they're pretty epic. When you die, or even when you're able to kill someone else, a zombie or a person. So like to see Abby like die, I'm like, I don't care. I threw her off a roof. I mean, this is what it was. I mean, it's like you don't want. She killed Joel. So it's like you don't want to, whatever. But so like now you're having to play. I'm like, okay, well maybe it won't be that long. But no, you're having to now go, and then they have the nerve. Like, get this. Then they have the nerve. They're like, oh, you're playing with Abby? Okay, here's something for you. Boom, get some feelings. No, Naughty Dog. I don't want to feel for Abby. She killed Joel. I do not want to feel for this character that just popped up in this game. I don't want to feel for her. So like they literally put things in the game that like they show her past, finds out her dad was the doctor with Ellie, or that was trying to do Ellie, and so was trying to use Ellie for the cure. And it's like you're trying to. They're literally trying to make you sympathize with Abby. Then you come across these characters named Lev and I forgot Yara, I believe, which are awesome characters. Probably the best secondary characters in the game because apparently Tommy just was an afterthought in this game. That's a whole nother problem with the game. I really feel like if you're gonna kill Joel, I should be able to play as Tommy. But yeah, so like I don't know. It's just that was the biggest thing, having to play as Abby, and then. Like the secondary characters, like there's not a lot of time to invest. You kind of get to that point with Dina, and then once you're done with the Ellie part, and then you do a little bit of the Abby part, and then it's like, well, then they're okay. They're moving on. She's okay with not Abby like lets her go. Like there's gonna be some things I'll leave out of the story, but this isn't me just trying to tell you exactly everything that happened. I'm just telling you my thoughts on what happened. But then so like I said, timeline-wise, it might not be the best review. But so, yeah, so you play as Abby. Like I said, you find these new characters, Lev and Yara. And then, you go through it. And if you're finally happy to be over it. But then, so not only are you playing as Joel's killer, then you have to play as Abby fighting Ellie. So you don't even get the satisfaction of playing as Ellie fighting Abby, which would have been epic in that moment. Like teasing it, and then maybe you want to prolong it for later in the game, or maybe even into a sequel that she's like Abby somehow gets away. But so then, anyways, to roll down the story before I get to get somewhere with this conversation. So then you get Ellie at the end finally tracks ends up deciding to leave everything. First of all, tells Tommy that she's not going to leave. First of all, she tells Tommy she's not going to leave and not going to do it. And then it's like seconds later does it, which was a big problem. It made me think of Game of Thrones when he literally tells spoiler alert for Game of Thrones. If you've watched, sorry, if you haven't watched Game of Thrones, this is going to be a spoiler. But when Jon Snow literally tells Tyrion he can't kill Daenerys, and then literally later on in that same episode, I'm pretty sure later on that same episode, what does he do? So, I mean, it just doesn't make sense. Like, why would he change that? Like, you got to at least give it an episode. Like, he literally changed his mind in that episode. And I understand realizing what he had to do. So it's the same. We're not talking about Game of Thrones, but that's the same thing here. It's like, so like you literally just told Tommy, and then literally I think it's the next morning, or that's what they made it out to be. The next morning she decides to leave without him, which he can't leave. If there's another part of the story. He did get shot in I think the leg and the eye, which I thought he died when that happened. Cause I'm like, that looks like he's dead. I don't know how he survived the shot to the head or eye or whatever. But yeah, so you're out, Randy. Thanks, bro. Thanks for always watching as well, Randy. And I will try to do a little update of what I got when it comes in from that break. But yeah, so like, there's just so much that like the story just didn't make sense. Like it just didn't. It was literally like I've heard a lot of reviews that I've watched and to see if they agree with me. And they do. The main thing they agree with is like it was Naughty Dog trying to I can't say the word, but how do you say it? Divert expectations. They were trying, like in the trailer, you even see a scene where Joel and Ellie are talking to each other later in should be later in the game. Ends up being they just planted that. Wasn't a real scene. That's where Jesse is. I haven't talked about Jesse much in this game. He dies out of nowhere too. Whatever. Okay. So I'm not supposed. It's just like a shock value. And if it's an episodic game or an episodic TV show or something, I get, getting to that point where I get shock value stuff like for those that do or don't know about Game of Thrones, the Red Wedding, and other shock moments of people dying. I get doing that. I just don't get it in a video game. I spent 25, honest to God, do I hate this game? No, there's a lot of thoughts that I have about this game, clearly. And they're passionate thoughts, but like I said, I can't say I hate the game because the game it's just so beautifully stunning. It's great, but it's like after 25 plus hours of playing this game and wanting to like hoping that this will be a game that I love so much that I would play back through. I actually bought it digitally because I wasn't gonna. I wanted to like have a copy of it forever. Didn't happen. Didn't happen because they decided to do this because I'm not gonna play it back through because I don't want to because I don't want to play back through as Abby again. Who does? Who literally does? No one. So, and then to make me sympathize for her. No, I don't want to. Then, on top of all of that, you finally catch up to Abby. And what does Ellie do? What does she do? She lets her go. She literally lets her go. It pisses me off, bro. Like, all that would have, all of it would have been fine had she killed her and let Lev go, or taken care of Lev, or what. Like, if, obviously Lev probably wouldn't have been down for that, whatever. But whatever. What happens to Ellie? So Ellie is I think so. Moving on, Ellie ends up. Obviously, she left Dina. Dina said, "I can't do this anymore." Before she went to go get Abby, so she ends up finding Abby. She comes back. By the way, Ellie loses like half of 2 fingers, which is random. And then she pulls up and the house is empty. Dina has left. So she's back at the house with Dina and they're gone. And so what does Ellie do? Eventually plays a guitar, does a little happy, and then she walks off. And I don't know if she's going to go find Dina. I assume they're probably going to try to do a Last of Us Part 3 at some point to probably rectify this one, but good luck. I want Abby dead. That's what I want. And at this point, it's going to be too late when it finally does happen. So that's what happened to. I cannot pronounce your name. Glowing. That's glowing. Glowing. I bet I'm going to go with glowing. That's probably closer to being accurate. But thanks for watching. By the way, make sure you subscribe and hit the like button. I'm pointing up because the like button's right there, but I think it's at the bottom. So yeah. But yeah, it's like. You just don't get that satisfaction of, okay, if you're going to play with Abby, I need to have the satisfaction of when I get switched back with Ellie. Because my whole thing was like, I'm going to switch back to Ellie and then not get to play much later in the game. At least you did give you that. You were able to go find her. But there's still not a lot more with Ellie. So it's definitely upsetting to spend a majority of the game. I don't know. Well, I'd have to look and see if it's technically the majority of the game playing as Abby, but it felt like it. I felt like a long portion of the game playing as Ellie, or not playing as Ellie, playing as Abby, and it was bad, man. Just bad storytelling. Like I said, the game itself was. I mean, the guns, the upgrades, the different ways you can kill, the different ways you can die. Like they show you different ways to die, like pretty gruesome deaths. Like just amazing. It's just an amazing way that they can do things, but. The story, man, they just fell short, man. It's just that simple. They fell short. They fell a lot short. And you ask me, okay, what could they have done? It's like, well, one, don't kill Joel till the end. Would have been one thing, but and if not, have Abby actually like have Ellie kill her, have that affect Ellie. Like it already affected her because Ellie killed people. That was very out of her character to kill. She ends up killing 2 of Abby's close friends. Actually, probably more than that, obviously with everybody. But yeah, Joel died. Sorry, glowing. This is spoilers, but Joel died in the first I don't know what technical time, but it felt like the first 15 to 25 minutes of the game because there's a lot of story driven stuff. But yeah, he dies before you even really have any kind of any level of real combat, really. Yeah, Abby smashes his head in. Spoiler alert, but yeah. So sorry, I got a notification on my phone, but yeah, sorry, buddy. I have to hide that, but rip Joel for real because I feel your passion with the cuss word, but I had to keep the cussing off the channel, but. So no, I get it. Everybody, you're the way you said that is exactly how I felt. So I'm with you on that, 100%. It's like no, but I have to hide it as far as the chat and the comments. But so rip, but put it. You can put back in the chat. Rip. You can put rip for Joel. It's just sad, man. You didn't get to play as him, and I just feel like this is the kind of thing they're going to 100% try to retcon this by doing like a either I don't. There's apparently no plans for a DLC, but like literally going to do things like have some kind of game, like the next game, where they're gonna have like the like I guess that was technically DLC for the first Last of Us, where they did stuff with when you found out Ellie was. Yeah, your keyboard definitely got Hulk smashed, and I totally don't blame you for it. I just want to explain why I had to hide the comment or whatever, but so it's automatically held in review anyway. So but yeah, like I don't know, man. It's one of those things, but by the way, probably the second best, if not the best, Red Bull Peach dash nectarine. It's amazing. You should try it. So yeah, it's anyways, I mean, there's not much, like, the story is a big part of these games, and the fact that you didn't deliver with the story, and it did drag it a lot of times. Like, gameplay is going to drag. I mean, that's just because you're searching a lot and you're going through dark areas. There's some hard parts in the game. Some games, the part of like, what do you expect me to do? When there's like 3 freaking clickers coming at me, and it was at a point where I didn't have any health, and it's like, because you craft things and stuff, and I didn't have at the time, didn't have the materials to craft a first aid kit, so it takes a couple tries, and I played it on, I guess, moderate. I don't know if it wasn't the easiest setting. I think it was like the second normal, or it might be just normal or whatever, but yeah, so I mean, those are my thoughts on the game. If you have any more questions, you're in here. If you're not watching this live, comment below, ask questions. I'll answer back if there's something that I didn't talk about. I'm trying to make sure there's nothing that I left out. If I wrote the story, I would have killed everyone except Joel and Ellie. Exactly. Like, that's fine. Like, that's totally okay. And you have to have Tommy die. Like, I'm not even against Joel dying. And here's what. I'm glad you said that, because it made me think of something. The whole time after Joel died, and so there's a big part in the thing. Like I said, I mentioned it before, about how Ellie gets mad at Joel for saving her. Basically, she finds out why. She finally finds out why, and she ends up saying, like, "Look, I'll go back to Jackson," which is where they end up like residing. "I'll go back to Jackson with you, but I'm never gonna forgive you for this." And Joel says, "That's fine. Like, I understand that." But like, that would have been cool to play off of, like, if they had to go do something together, like maybe Abby attacks the village and kills Tommy or something, and so now they have to work, like, maybe they separate at times, and then you're playing as Ellie, you're playing as Joel, then you come back together, and they're still mad at each other, like, or not mad at each other, but Ellie's still mad at Joel, and Joel's having to hold that burden. Instead, you only get that in flashbacks. You see Joel's, like, things that they react, and you see Ellie react, and you know why Ellie's obviously mad, because and I really thought, because of that Ellie at the end was going to turn herself in, and she didn't. She actually did. I say turn herself in, but if there's a lot of rumors in the game that the Fireflies still exist. So you think that at some point she's going to just say, you know what, I'm going to give myself to the Fireflies and go from there. But they don't do that. So, and like, for research, but she never does that. Maybe that's because they're not done with her. Obviously, that's because they're going to keep the story going. I don't know. I haven't heard any rumors on if there is like plans to like end it here. I don't know. I don't think there will be. I think there'll definitely be a third one, but yeah, I mean, it's I don't have any interest in playing the third. I will play it. I know I will, but the second one, man, it's just, I will say, like, I did debate for a short time. I didn't buy it this day it came out, to like, maybe I should buy it like when it's the first discount that comes out, like maybe it's 45, whatever, so it's not 60. Even if it was like 50, I saved some money on it. But I did purchase it at 60. I bought it digital copy, and I'm pointing over there because my PlayStation's over there. But yeah, so like, I mean, it was disappointing to do that. I mean, I put so many hours. I grind to beat that game. I mean, I literally binge gamed instead of like you binge watch a Netflix show. I binge played / watched The Last of Us Part 2. So it was very frustrating to have that end up not working out. Because like I said, I think I wasn't angry like Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones, like I said, I don't even want to talk about it. Literally, So like, did this ruin? I guess in a sense, is this like a Game of Thrones type thing? Did it ruin? Uh, did it ruin the? Sorry, someone texted me and distracted me. Did it ruin my love for The Last of Us Part 1? And did it ruin my love for, The Last of Us in general? I don't know if it not to the Game of Thrones level. I agree. You should definitely do that, by the way. I'll get to that, what you just said in a second. But yeah, I'm not on a hatred towards like the Game of Thrones level. Like Game of Thrones, like I was totally ready for when it finished. I was sad that it was coming to an end, but I was going to watch it back, and I can't wait to watch it back with someone. Now I don't have any interest to watch it back because I know how it ends. Like I know it's just I don't care. And I know a lot of people feel that way about the Star Wars. I don't feel that way. I love the new Star Wars movies. I feel like no matter what they did, people are going to be pissed off. And I'm pretty sure that's 100% accurate. Like didn't matter what Disney did. So I don't. That's a whole nother video. But I'll debate those new Star Wars movies with you all day. And some things I can understand. But yeah. So I think that oh, yes. Hold on, I'll get to both your comments. So let's go back to your comment, Glowing. Shout out, like I said, to him. It says Glowing the Hobbit. I hope I am pronouncing that right. But he says, first, I'm going to save some money and watch The Last of Us 2 cutscenes only on YouTube. I definitely would watch the gameplay through that as well. I would definitely watch a walkthrough on YouTube or Twitch or whatever. I thought about even doing that with my game, but those story games I really like to just like enjoy, and I feel like I miss some stuff when I do that. But so I did do a little bit of like Detroit Become Human and stuff like that, but I'll try to do another one again, especially if somebody wants to see it. But all right, so then he asked, what is more upsetting? I say he. It might be a she. Sorry. If you're whatever you are, you're awesome. What is more upsetting? The Last of Us Part 2 versus Giants beating the Pats in 2 Super Bowls. Ooh, sick burn is what he said. That is a sick burn, and it's not even close. It's definitely not as upsetting as the Giants beating us in 2 Super Bowls. There's obviously for the Giants, the second one's not forgettable, but there's not a whole lot outside of. Is it the second one? I think it's the second one that Asante's saying. No, that's the first one. There's the second one that I guess it is. I don't remember. I try not to remember, but I think it's the second one that not the second Last of Us, but the second Giants Pats Super Bowl that ended up being like there was that was Mario Manningham. I don't know if Asante Samuel or someone missed an interception in that one, and then of course Asante. I think that's the one Asante missed, and I don't remember though. It's one of the first. It's either the first one or the second one that he missed a key interception, but I still got work after brain. I guess is what we're calling it, but. All right, let's see here. I was reading some text messages real quick. I'm about to get off, but I'm going to say some final thoughts about Last of Us Part 2 before I get off. But yeah, so I mean, final thoughts on the game. I mean, it is what it is at this point, but I'm not like would I recommend paying $60 for it? Absolutely not. I would not. And that's just because like I just think this, if you're a Last of, like if you've never played, then maybe you won't be as invested in the story of Ellie and Joel, but I really think that the story will piss you off while you're playing. So keep that in mind if you do want to pay 60. I would say, yeah, if it's 40 or less, maybe go ahead and bite the bullet. Or like you just said, Glowing, that I would just watch it on YouTube or watch a playthrough, and then maybe when it's like $20 or something like that, play it. But it's a beautiful game. It's an amazing, beautiful game, but just the story falls short and is really messed up. Metacritic, yeah, their score is high, but that's not the user score though. I don't think that's critic score. The critic score is always flawed. So. Like I think the credit score is like a 4 something or something like that. I don't believe. I think the not credit score, the user score is like a 4 or something. But yeah, so I just sneezed. Corona everywhere. At least I'm in my house, so we're good. Rona sneeze. Yep, exactly. Rona sneeze. So, anyways, I appreciate going for the chats and keeping the conversation going. It's been going for 35 minutes, and I think that's enough in case someone happened to want to go back and watch the video and my thoughts on the show on the game. But I like doing it live chat wise. I know that this is Saturday evening or night, so oh wow, I just found out, and I'm probably about to go on live here in a minute on Twitch. So if you like to watch Fortnite play, I'm going to go live on there and play some games on Fortnite here soon, probably, and that'll be on Twitch. So check that out. Like I said, thank you guys for watching this video. Wanted to get some thoughts out there and get it out as soon as I could after beating it. Beat it a few days ago. So thank you guys for watching. If you haven't subscribed, do. I loved your comments today. Thank you for tuning in. Also, Randy, thank you for tuning in live. I understand a lot of people because, like I said, it's Saturday afternoon. But if you guys like these, I'll do more live reviews. Maybe, like I said, I'll stream more on Twitch. I'm trying to stream more. I'm at least going to say, unless I'm closing, I'm going to stream Fortnite on Friday nights every week if I'm home. So, Fortnite, let's gamble. Loser goes home match. Right? That's funny. Funny. All right, so that's it. Thank you guys for watching, as always. And don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button. And if you have an idea, if you see something, if there's something a game you're playing that you want to know if I played and I'll review it, I would gladly come on and we'll talk about it. I like the live chat where you can kind of get everybody going. I need to think of a good, it's going to fluctuate, but I'm going to try to maybe do a live once a week. That's going to be the goal. So one live and one stream session as well. Which will most likely be Fortnite, and then the live will be, let's talk about, different things. There might be certain things I want to talk about, but I'm not going to show my new pops in this video. I'll save that for another video, but, thank you guys for watching as always, and, peace.